Hello, and welcome to My Point of View Movie Reviews. I just got done binge watching a Netflix original series titled Jailbirds. It's about life in prison. The unique thing about this series, it took place right here in my hometown of Sacramento, California. Man, this show was bananas. It opens up with this 19-year-old girl getting booked, going to jail in Sacramento County with multiple felonies. And from there, it just pulls you in deep. I can't remember all the names of the people, but there's 8 floors in the Sacramento jail downtown in Sacramento. And then out towards the country, we got a thing called the Branch. It's another jail that's kind of like outside where you can get fresh air and walk the yard. But Sac County, your ass is indoors the whole time. And on the 7th floor is all females. The other floors are male inmates. And the unique thing about this show, it shows how they communicate, riots breaking out, fights, everything. People getting married in the prison system. It was crazy. What caught my attention the most, it was a thing called toilet bowling. Now, we refer to it as the internet. You might meet somebody online. You might talk to somebody through a dating service. In jail, they get drinking cups, take all the water out the toilet, dump it in the sink, get toilet paper rolls, make a little castle, and talk through it like this. That's how they communicate through multiple floors in prison. So all the guys are definitely trying to talk to somebody on the 7th floor. That's where all the women are at. Relationships in jail start that way by talking into a toilet and meeting people. And then that's how they get contraband from floor to floor. They get t-shirts and old pieces of linen. They tie these long strands together, put like food, drugs, pictures, and they drain the toilets and they stuff everything down the toilet and they flush it, and hopefully the string is pulled through the toilet system to the next floor, or either if it's going upstairs, they try to get it and pull it up. Bananas. It was crazy. And you wouldn't believe how many beautiful women are locked away in prison. Some are cold-hearted murderers. Some are carjackers, robbers, domestic violence, drug abusers. Just, you wouldn't believe it. Then you got the guys who's in there on multiple cases as well. Everything from 30 years to life, doing 180 days. Some people just doing 30 days. It's a mixture of everything. And you got to be cool, and you got to keep your head on a swivel, because anything can happen. You can lose your good time, or they can add to the time that you already got. And there's girls that are like 19 years old who've been in jail in juvenile hall since 17 with murder cases. I remember seeing some of these things on the news a couple of years ago. I'm like, wait a minute. I remember that story. There's one girl named Tyler. She was part of a home invasion. She was 17 years old at a hotel hanging with her homegirl and her boyfriend. They go pick up another dude and they go rob these people. Well, she just sits in the car and waits. They go into the home. It was an Asian home. They shot and killed 2 people executioner style inside the house. And one ran out into the driveway. Somebody caught him and shot him. She witnessed the whole thing. They had nothing to do with it. But she's guilty by association, so it makes her an accomplice. They go back to the hotel, go downstairs to brunch, and have a breakfast buffet. They're like nothing happened. Well, eventually they got caught. She's currently serving 7 years. 3 years in Sac County, then she's been shipped off to a real prison to do some more time. It's crazy. You got women dating women, falling in love in prison, and they got kids at home by their husbands. I mean, some messy stories. There was a couple of cellmates together. Noonie is one girl, and the other girl's name was Ebony. They shared a cell together, a couple of sisters. They were talking about their lifestyle, and there was a dude on another floor that Noonie started communicating with through the toilet. And they started dating and getting a real relationship. Well, Ebony was like, look, I got a husband on the outs. When I get out, I'm going back to my husband, my child. Come to find out, her roommate or cellmate started dating a guy in the system who shot at her husband and her and the child while they was free men at one time. That close. Gang violence on the street can end up in your cell. So that caused friction and funk between the two girls. They got into a fight, had to be separated, got more time. You never know. You got guys in prison who's dating multiple girls in prison on the 7th floor, all getting caught up. Because in the jail life, that's all you got. It's nothing like reality. You take that shit for real, because to them, it's real. And then some people get rolled up, get sent to the branch, and some people can't deal with a little bit of freedom. Being able to walk outside and walk the yard, shoot hoops. Some of these people need to be confined in a room with all metal doors and walls and brick thick walls and stuff. They can't comprehend freedom and the ability to think for themselves because they always get in trouble, man. This show was crazy. There was another girl who got my attention the most. One girl, her name was Monster. Her nickname was Monster. Grew up in the East Coast in New York, got in trouble, got out of jail, then came to Sacramento, got in trouble again, ended up in the joint. This girl is beautiful, but she kept selling drugs, doing armed robbery, and she finally got sent downtown to Sac County. Then she got sent to the branch. The dude that's in jail used to be her ex-boyfriend, just to beat her ass, broke her nose several times, and people that she's in a cell with are trying to date him inside the prison system. It's crazy what a lot of these women go through. It will pull you in, just everything. You had siblings in jail together. And come to find out, towards the end, the younger sibling is messing with the older sibling's man on the outs. When she gets out, and she's already married, and the other girl's about to do 30 years to life. Crazy. I mean, the stories that are told. Then you got guys in there. One dude called himself Wolverine because he looked just like Wolverine, looked just like Logan. Had the little hair, the beard, the little hair right here that came down like this. He was working in the kitchen. He was one of the cooks. And while you in prison, you can't fraternize with the women when you're a worker working on that 7th floor serving them girls food. You can't do it. It's all kind of characters. I mean, I can't remember everybody's name. You got Ye, you got Jay, you got, oh my God, Monster, Brianna, Bianca, girl named Buddha. You got a girl named Baby Girl. You had some characters in this show. Some was in there on drug charges. Some of the people in there was just detoxing the whole time they was there. And you had some people who was hardly had any teeth. I mean, you had girl fights. I mean, and they was dropping it like it was hot. I mean, they was throwing some knuckles on each other. And they fought over the most simplistic, stupidest things. To us, it might seem stupid, but in the jail system, it's all about honor amongst thieves. And any little thing can set somebody off, man. There was another girl named, oh man, there's so many people to remember, man. But this show is compelling. And towards the end, in the 6th episode, some people got out. Some people who started in prison together and started a relationship got out together and can continue their relationship. One girl named Jay, it broke my heart, man. She was in there on drug charges. She was a heroin addict. She was getting clean while she was in there. And she already had lost her mom. She had a 4-year-old son, that her dad had custody over. And she would call her dad every week and talk to him. And one day she called and he didn't answer the phone. She got pissed off at him. Dad, you're not answering the phone. What's going on? And she, cussed him out in her mind and all kind of stuff was going on. Kind of found out, man, her daddy died. Lost custody of her child to her baby's daddy, who's also in jail. His mom took custody of her daughter. So when she gets out, she got to fight that battle. It's so much that's going on, man. So much. There was a dude named Dollar. He's dating like 3 or 4 different women on the damn 7th floor. He had women fighting over him, talking through damn toilets. And the one girl he finally got with earlier in jail, they got out together and they kind of commenced their relationship. We'll see how that works out, because none of these dudes are loyal, man. It was crazy. Then you had the officers who came from a rough spot where their cousins or family members got gunned down at a young age right in front of them, and they vowed to be a policeman, and the kind of policeman or deputy that will help inmates how to talk to them while they're in the system. You had a lot of people who did a lot of good by the inmates, man. You didn't see any assholes and things like that. I'm pretty sure it was a documentary, so they didn't show the assholes. But this show was compelling. It was deep. And do not get caught behind the law, because watching this show, jail, the branch, prison is nothing nice. Not having your freedom, having to use the bathroom in front of people, having to have a toilet overflow and you got feces floating on the floor where you walk at every day. You got to take showers in front of people. You got to undress in front of an officer, bend over and cough 3 times to make sure there ain't no contraband in your private parts. Imagine that, man. And then these people are brilliant. They're scientists, they're chemists. They're making alcohol out of fermented fruit. They save oranges all week long, squeeze them into a bag, let them ferment, and make alcohol. They make birthday gifts for each other in jail, because half his people are spending their birthdays in jail. They get ramen noodles and make spreads. They get all these different candy bars and cupcakes and crunch them up and add things to them and have birthday cakes prison style. It's bananas. It's crazy. It's sad. It's eventful. It's exciting. It's excruciating to watch. But in the end, it teaches everybody a lesson. This was an incredible documentary, well shot, well documented. The interviews would tear your soul apart, man. It's just gut-wrenching to watch this thing come to pass. And this is what I want to do. I want to do documentaries. Here we are having a documentary right here in my own city, man. I want to do that my damn self. Then they were showing situations where people were telling stories how they got caught. They showed a street called Stockton Boulevard. I just did a documentary about the homeless on Stockton Boulevard, man. It was a trip to watch this thing to come past and watch. But if you got Netflix, man, tune in to Jailbirds. It's a show you'll never forget, because it's true reality and it's a documentary, and it really spends about 95% of the time on the women in the system and another 5% on the men. And what was even more crazier, I recognize some of these people in the holding tank. I'm like, I seen that fool before. I actually recognize people that I'm watching in a damn Netflix special documentary style that I seen on the streets that are now in jail. That's how real this show is. And, you know, Sacramento's a big city, but at the same time, it's a small city. So people know people who know people. And it was crazy to watch, man. It was crazy to watch. But as always, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And then tell all your friends about it. And leave your comments down below. And yo, it's always the same. It's just my point of view.